The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now we have a man to my left who really needs no introduction, for he is known the world over. It's the one, it's the only, it's Pops.
Yeah, welcome to True School Sports. We're about to talk about the Kavalusik and Vergil Ortiz fight. Let's get started.
Let's get started, man. So, Vergil Ortiz, you know, when we talk about the real deal in boxing, we talk about guys that are walking that walk and talking that talk, we got to talk about the young buck from Grand Prairie, Texas, Vergil Ortiz, because, you know, we look at his career. I mean, his record, it looks good, it sounds good, and it is good. It's 18 wins with 18 knockouts, and the most recent one coming against the Mean Machine, Kavalusik. And look, I've been telling you guys for a long time that Kavalusik is a very good welterweight, underrated welterweight. He does not get the credit he deserves. I even told, you know, the great BFTB Boxing when I went on his channel last year, you know, he didn't want to give Kavalusik no credit. I said, look, Kavalusik is a good fighter. Was a good amateur, two-time Olympian. You know, gave Crawford one of his hardest fights.
Yeah. And
he came here against Vergil Ortiz, and in the first 3 or 4 rounds, it was no different. You know, he took Vergil Ortiz to some deep, dark, uncomfortable places we have yet to see him go to in the professional ranks of boxing. We saw him hurt Vergil Ortiz. We saw Vergil Ortiz get hit with combinations. We saw Vergil Ortiz. A lot of people thought he got knocked down. He got dropped, but the referee didn't call it. So, you know, same story for Kavalusik. You know, a guy that, same thing with Crawford. He glove touched the canvas. Referee didn't call it. So you can make the argument that Kavalusik, even though he didn't beat either one of them, he was good enough to drop both of them. There's an argument to be made that he dropped both Terence Crawford and Vergil Ortiz. So I thought he was good. You know, he's got some of the best timing in the entire welterweight division. A very hard tree you got to figure out. If he took some easier fights, his record would probably be a lot better than it is. But good fight for Vergil. Vergil showed a lot of maturity in this fight. He showed good defense. He showed beautiful variation with the jab, single jabs, double jabs, triple jabs, double jabs, straight right hands. Just a lot of good setups in this fight for Vergil Ortiz.
And what I like about Vergil Ortiz, not to cut you off, BT, is he's going for greatness. He's young and he's hungry. He's a hungry lion that wants to go after the best, and he's not hiding it for no one. Step up to the plate. I mean, he came in there. I think this is one for me. I commented before and said this was going to be one of the true tests for me because of the respect that I have for the Mean Machine and what he brings into the table. I mean, for him to get the Mean Machine got in there with Crawford. He showed Crawford that wasn't going to be an easy fight, and he came in and tried to do the same thing with Vergil, and Vergil just totally dominated. But I mean, you got to give respect to the Mean Machine, and I like Vergil Ortiz because he's hungry and he wants the best. He doesn't care who they put in front of him. He's a hungry lion that wants to tear everybody down. So, all y'all on 147, you better hike up your skirts because Ortiz is coming.
He's coming. Now, he's ranked #1 in the WBO. I've been campaigning for this fight between Vergil Ortiz and Terence Crawford for well over a year before it was ever talked about. I was making videos about it. You can check the receipts. I got them on YouTube. They're there. He's 23 years old on paper, but boxing-wise, maturity-wise, IQ-wise, he's definitely better than 23 years old. Yeah. He fights well beyond his years, Vergil Ortiz, and I think people are asking the wrong questions. People are asking the questions. Well, is Terence Crawford or are the elite welterweights or is Vergil Ortiz ready for the elite welterweights? And the question they need to be asking is, are the elite welterweights ready for Vergil Ortiz? Yeah. Because man, I can't think. It's been a long time since I've seen the combination of meanness and fundamentals and punching power. You know, he's going to give a lot of these guys problems. And he's not just a regular, you know, Mexican-American fighter. This guy has a lot of skills he's bringing to the table.
And the thing about it, as years go on, he's going to mature more, learn more. And the more he's in the ring fighting experienced fighters like the Mean Machine, the better he's going to get. The more he's going to learn. So let's not get it twisted. Each day that goes by, and each of these elites in the 147 saying he's not. I think Crawford came out and said he's not ready for him yet. But let me tell you right now, keep sleeping on him, give him all the time to get more mature and learn more. He's going to be more dangerous as days goes on.
Yeah, and make of this what you will, but when Vergil Ortiz, I saw on Little Giant Boxing, shout out to Little Giant Boxing, putting out good content. I saw on Little Giant Boxing's channel that when Kavalusik and Vergil Ortiz were in the locker room after the fight, Kavalusik told Vergil Ortiz that you hit harder than Crawford.
Wow.
Yeah, he hit harder than Crawford, and that even like the jab was very surprising to him. So that's a lot. That's telling you a lot from a guy that's been in the ring with both, and a guy that I don't see any reason why he would hate Terence Crawford.
He's not a gumball fighter. He's an experienced fighter. He's been with the best of the best. I'm talking about the Mean Machine. So when he comes out and he's telling a young buck like a hungry Ortiz, like, you know what, you hit like you hit like bricks. You're not hitting like little pebbles. It's something to acknowledge and respect.
Yeah.
And admire from a young guy like that, and from getting it from a guy that's a veteran, so to speak, in the Mean Machine. It's a lot of respect going that way. So
yeah.
Remember what I told you. Each day that goes by, Ortiz is going to get better.
And one thing I can say about Vergil Ortiz is, I had the opportunity to actually meet Vergil Ortiz when I was in Las Vegas in May. I met him in May at the MGM Grand. I was getting some frozen yogurt one day. I was getting some frozen yogurt one day, and my friend said Vergil Ortiz is in line. He's right over there. So I went over to Vergil. This is the day right after Josh Taylor just beat Ramirez. That's why he was in Vegas. And everything you see of Vergil Ortiz, what you see is exactly what you get. Like how he is in the media, that's exactly how he is when the cameras are off. And a guy who carries himself like that is self-assured of himself, and he knows who he is, and he knows where he's going, and that's a dangerous fighter.
And he's a very humble guy. He likes to play the guitar. He's gonna play some new music on all you welterweights in the ring.
So yeah. Pops. So ideally, what's like the next fight? I know the Crawford fight. Like, what do you think about him fighting Crawford next? What do you make of that?
I mean, that's another big test for him.
Is he? Do you think he's ready? I know he thinks he's ready, but do you think he's ready for a Terence Crawford?
I think he's right now. I think I'm gonna say what the Garcia say. I watched training a couple months ago, or whenever I seen him, they were basically saying he still needs some more fights. His time is gonna come to fight them, but they feel that he still needs to mature more and grow more. But from what I've seen from the fights I've seen, what he's doing, I think he's ready to go.
I think he's ready for. I thought a year ago. Listen, I thought a year ago he was ready for any welterweight on earth. So, and after seeing the Kavaluskas fight, I mean, listen, if you can go in there and you can drop Kavaluskas, the Mean Machine, if you can drop him 5 times in a fight, and get him out of there by the 8th round, and literally like he had that one scare in the 2nd or 3rd round where he got hurt and whatnot. But after that, you saw the adjustments he made. He controlled the whole fight from that point forward. So he showed maturation, he showed boxing IQ. And I don't think we need to mess about Vergil Ortiz. I don't think we need to marinate anything in Vergil Ortiz. And I don't think he's the type of fighter to want to marinate fights, to want to wait. I think Vergil wants to fight the best.
It's like what you were saying, right? Like you said right now, the seasoning's in the chicken. In other words, what I'm getting at is you basically saying, like, you know what? He's a seasoned fighter that's ready to go out there and fry it.
The adobo is ready. So it's on the chicken.
Yeah. So basically, like you were just saying, like he's ready for he wants to fight the great. He doesn't want to go lower. In other words, he's not going to fight no coming up guy. He wants to fight the top elites, and he's proven it. Yeah. I mean, this fight right here for me personally, I thought it was one of his biggest step-up fights, and he
passed it with flying colors.
Dominated. So that's a big thing for me. And like I said, keep your eye on him, because he's gonna fuck up all the 147 elites that are making excuses, because ain't no more excuse. Vergil Ortiz is here to stay.
Yeah, so Vergil Ortiz versus Crawford, Vergil Ortiz versus Porter, Vergil Ortiz versus Spence, Pacquiao. I'm ending this though. I'm gonna say this. They asked Vergil about if he wants to fight Crawford next or whatever, and I love his response. He said, "There's so much shit going on in boxing. I don't know what I gotta do to get these fights." That's what he said, and he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. If I was in a position, I would probably say the same thing. Like you could say you want these fights and you could put it out there, but ultimately, if the fighter has a different team than you, they have their own agendas and their own way they want to go. And if you can ruin and derail those plans, then they're gonna go around you.
And basically, what he's saying is the fucking politics. Promoters, get your head out of your asses and make the fucking fights. Leave the politics outside the ring.
There you have it. So we'll leave it at that. You guys, make sure you give us your thoughts down below. Make sure you take the time to subscribe. And like I was saying, every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.